Hi, I'd like to explain how to use the 2 decks of cards that you got with your Organized Business Startup System binder. The first deck of cards you got is a set of blank cards. There's nothing on these. I'll explain to you how to use those in a minute. The second larger deck of cards is a beautifully color-coded deck of cards that has different meanings for every color, and I'm going to show you right now how to use them to create learning objectives and to help determine exactly what it is that your learners need to be able to know or do before they finish your course. The first thing I would like you to do is to go through your deck of cards and separate out the black cards and the gray cards. These 2 sets of cards tell you how to use the rest of the deck. Start with the title card, get a bigger boat. It tells you, the second one tells you how to use these cards. You see on the back, it gives you all the information you need. Third tells you what a learning objective is and how to write learning objectives. So these basic cards give you an idea of how to use the rest of this stack. The gray cards are full of tips for how to write 3 different kinds of skill objectives. Teaches you how to do mental skill objectives. Again, they all have tips on the back. Gives you tips for how to write physical skill objectives. Lessons on the back. And gives you examples of how to write behavioral skill objectives. So all of these are very helpful. So before you even get started, read your black and your gray cards, and then you can just set them aside and refer to them later if you need to. So the rest of these are all numbered by step and color-coded. We're going to start with step 1, which says, by the end of this. And step 2 is 3 cards, which are listed as program, course, or lesson. So by the end of this program, this course, or this lesson, and a program is made up of courses, which are made up of lessons, if you have any questions about that. The next card is simply a text card, and you just add that next. By the end of this program, the student will be able to, and then we get to the big set of cards for step 4. Step 4 contains information about 3 different skills. The blue are mental skills, the green are physical skills, and the purple are behavioral skills. These are what we're going to use to determine exactly what we want our students to know or do at the end of the course. Here's an example of the mental skills. Each card has a different skill that you might need to do if you are learning a mental skill. There's also physical skill cards, and each of these has an item that you might want to do if you are learning a physical skill. Finally, there are a number of behavioral skills such as perform and conform, answer, point to, ask, etc. for behavioral skills. All of your classes are going to have some mental skills, and they may have physical skills, or they may have behavioral skills, or they may have all 3 of them, depending on the kind of course that you're teaching. For step 5, we have 3 different cards, one for physical skills, one for mental skills, and one for behavioral skills. And basically all you're doing is naming the specific information, behavior, or physical skill that you want the student to perform or know. So that's step 5, and this is where your blank cards come in handy. Right here on the blank cards, what you're going to do is write exactly what you want them to know. In this case, we're saying by the end of this program, the student will be able to compare apples and oranges. So you'd write apples and oranges on this card. And then we get to the last two cards. The first one is just a word. It is the word given. So by the end of this program, the student will be able to compare apples and oranges given what? Given the list of what supplies, tools, or information they must have to succeed. Here again, we use our blank cards. What do they need in order to be able to compare apples and oranges? They need an apple and an orange. So by the end of this program, the student will be able to compare apples and oranges given an apple and an orange. You will have a sentence like this for every single thing that you want your students to be able to know or do at the end of your program, course, or lesson.